Hi guys and welcome. My name's Tanya, I'm the Operations Manager here at Definitive. So the purpose of today is to talk you through a visual guide on how to do bulk superannuation updates. So each year we're asked by clients how to do these bulk updates yourself. As we're making a move from 9.5% to 10% superannuation guarantee effective first full pay period in July, we thought now's the perfect time to talk you through it. So let's get started. First of all, you need to make sure that you've got the appropriate permissions to be able to perform this task. So you're jumping into your appropriate user role and making sure that you've got them on. Halfway down for your config is your export import. You just want to make sure that these are ticked on. If they're ticked on, you're good to go. If they're not, you're not going to see the next step. So jumping into admin, miscellaneous, data import. Now halfway down, you can see the employee data import area. What you want to do is download a copy of that information. Essentially, what this is a copy of all the information that's held within Definitive on your employees. We're going to utilise this, make appropriate changes, and then upload it back into Definitive to be able to see those results that we're trying to do. So the first thing that we want to do is get rid of all the tabs that we're not going to use. So the only tab that we're doing today is we're updating superannuation. So you can go ahead and delete all these other tabs so that you don't get incorrect information or you don't get mixed up on what you're trying to use. Okay, and make sure that as you start to make changes, you're saving that down as appropriate. All right, so what we want to do is we want to expand out these columns. This is purely just for ease so you can see what's going on your screen. Now, for some of you, you may not have seen this spreadsheet before. So just to give you a brief overview, on the left-hand side here, we have all the information relating to your employees' super fund. And on the right-hand side here, all the contribution information. So as you know, when you go to create new employees or you're updating master records in superannuation, you know that in there you have both your superannuation as well as your contribution. So that's essentially all this is it's pulled that data out and it's broken it down for us. As you can see, you have a unique identifier associated with each of these. Now, unique identifier being exactly that. It's unique to that line, in this case to that super fund, or in this case to that contribution. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to sort our data into an order to ensure that we're only updating the appropriate fields. So you want a data sort, and what we're going to do is sort by our contribution cease date. Now, I'm all for highlighting to make things easier, so bear with me if that's not for you. All right, so what we want to do here, you can see on the right-hand side there, our contribution cease dates. They're all prior to the 1st of July, so I'm not even going to worry about them. I'm going to pop those in as orange, leave them there. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is sort by our contribution type. So I'm going to leave this contribution cease date on there to make sure that those records stay at the top because I'm not going to touch them. So what we want to do next is our contribution type. Now the purpose of doing this is to get all of our SO1s together. Now if you're not familiar with SO1s, please jump into your pay items, into your superannuation tab, so that you can have a look at what code, pay item code, is relevant for your superannuation. SO1's your standard employer contribution, SO2 standard for salary sacrifice, and SO3 standard for voluntary contribution. However, you may be different. Your company may be set up slightly different. You may be looking to update SO6 or SO8. So please make sure you've gone and checked that. So what we're going to do here is we've sorted this in order. And the reason for that is because I want to isolate and highlight any that is not SO1. Because obviously in this example, we are only updating SO1 from 9.5% to 10%. Sorry. Okay, highlight those ones there. We're now left with our data in the middle. Fantastic. Okay, so what we want to do is it's SO1 only that we want to update. So we're going to highlight all of our SO1, nice and easy now because it's not highlighted a different colour, and we want to copy and paste these records down the bottom. So copy, just bear with my spreadsheet here. It's running a bit slow today. Paste this data. Once again, I'm a colour girl, so I'm going to pop on some yellow there just to make sure it stands out for me. So essentially what I have now is up the top I've got orange, old records we don't need to touch. White is our current SO1. We have blue, which is our current SO2, SO3, or anything other that we're not looking to update. And then our yellow, which is what we're going to refer to as our new cells that we want to update. So first of all, what we want to do is start on the left-hand side. Now, as I explained to you, on the left-hand side of this spreadsheet is all to do with superannuation funds, not the contributions. So what we want to do is we want to add an action of update to every single one. If you don't, you're going to lose superannuation records as you go to upload your information. Okay. Now what we want to do is moving over to column R on your contribution cease date is this is where we want to end date these for the 30th of June 2021. Now keep in mind, if you're not a nice simple monthly payroll, your end date may be different to that. So please make sure that you're aligning that with your current pay period so that you're getting that accurate. Once you've end dated all of your white SO1, you can be comfortable to know that they're all going to end date once you upload this back into the system. Reason why, on the left-hand side, you have an action of update. On the right-hand side, you have your end date there. Sorry. Oh, goodness. Let me try that one more time. Okay, there we go. Now we're moving down into our yellow. So what we want to do into our yellow is we want to do all new commence dates, So we've ceased everything at 30th of June 2021. We now want to commence our new ones at 1st of July 2021 so that we've got our new rates coming in and our new dates coming in. As we just discussed before, we want to increase all of these to a 10% from our 9.5. Done that? And making sure that you pull that down through all your yellow records or a different highlight if you've used it, but all of your new records to make sure that you're getting everything. Now this part, one of the most important parts of making these updates, you must make sure that you remove these contribution IDs from your new records. If you don't remove them, what it's going to do is update your current only, and it's not going to create these new records for you. You can run into issues there. Okay, so now just do a quick review of your file. We've got our old records up the top. We haven't touched anything to do with those SO1s and other. We then have our ones in the middle, which we've got our update action on. To the right, we have a 30th of June end date. No other fields have been touched in there. In the middle, we have our superannuation, salary sacrifice and voluntary contribution, or other, as we're going to say. Once again, nothing's been touched in that regard. And then you move down to our yellow in this instance. We've got our update on the left-hand side. We have removed our contribution ID because we do not need it. We've got 1st of July to ongoing, and we have updated to 10%. Excellent. Once again, don't forget to save as you're going along. Final thing we need to do is sort the file in a specific order. If you don't sort it in a specific order, you will find that you get errors when you try to upload this back into the system. So the order that we want to do is, first of all, we want to go by employee number. Then we want to go by ID. So this is a super fund ID. And then finally, by the contribution type. Okay, sort those as appropriate. And now our spreadsheet's filled with nice, beautiful colours here. Okay, final save. Now it's ready to import back in. So importing back in is nice and simple. Drag and drop onto the appropriate place to be able to upload. This warning message here just says, it's just advising you that you are going to make changes to employee data, and please be aware that these can have a big impact on the data that you've put into the system. So that's fantastic. As you can see here, I've successfully updated my records there. So the final thing, or second last thing that I asked you to do is, first of all, jump into a couple of examples and double check that you've got these right. Okay? Sometimes it can be deceiving. You want to make sure that you're doing your due diligence to make sure it's right. Jump into an employee's record and pop on show all. The reason you do that is if the record that you're looking for is out of date, you're not going to see it anyway. Make sure you've got one superannuation fund up here. As you come down to your contributions, this one looks great. We've got higher date to 30th of June, 9.5%, and then we have a 10% effective from the 1st of July ongoing. Just do one other example in this regard. Jump in, show all. So you can see here we've got two superannuation funds. Now the reason I chose this is because one of these was already end dated. So this was one of the records where I didn't want to touch that information. So jumping down here, I make sure that the prior fund, which was rest, ceased at the same time. Your new fund, we've got a contribution going from the 26th of the 10th to the 30th of June 21, 9.5, and then moving on to a 10% from the 1st of July. Exactly the outcome that we want. So the alternate of what you can do to check is download your employee Excel file again. You can then check that back against your one you downloaded previously, as the one you're downloading now is a current record of what's in the system. But that's how easy it is to do. But as I said throughout the video, please be mindful of uploading this data. Please check, double check that you're getting it right, because you can potentially be changing a lot of data in there. Now, as I said, our consulting team are always here to assist you. If you run into any issues, please log a ticket via the help desk. The team will then investigate the issue and come back to you. Okay, good luck, guys. Thank you very much.